Hello, everybody. This is Peter B., and welcome to another edition of Tobacco Card Tuesdays. I'm actually a day late. This is Wednesday. I'm recording this. I've been busy at work, and I apologize for being a day late. Anyways, let's pretend it's Tuesday, Tobacco Card Tuesday. We're going to continue down the T205 checklist. And we're getting towards the end of the D's. And today we're going to start out with Mickey Doolan of the Philadelphia Phillies. Doolan was the prototype good field, no-hit shortstop. He was a very good fielder with a very accurate throwing arm. Sports writer Fred Lieb once remarked that he could throw standing on his head. According to Bill James' win share system, he was the National League's best fielding shortstop in 4 of the years he played. Mickey suffered a childhood injury to his throwing arm. This made him unable to make a long overhand throw that is needed from the shortstop position. So he developed a snap throw, which was wristing the ball sidearm or at the three-quarter position. It worked. He had a 13-year career from 1905 to 1916, 1,376 hits, and a .230 batting average. So this is like a grayish background. You can tell Dolan is on the National League because it's just a portrait, not the base diamond, with the P for the Phillies. And this comes from a Hassan cigarette box. So our first player today is shortstop Mickey Doolan. Next player, Patsy Dougherty of the Chicago White Sox. Dougherty carried a big bat and helped the Red Sox to the first modern-day World Series in 1903. He became the first Boston player to homer in a World Series. He also was the first player to hit 2 home runs in a World Series game. Also the first player to hit a leadoff home run in a World Series game. He had a 10-year career playing from 1902 to 1911. He played for the Red Sox, the New York Highlanders, which later became the Yankees, and the Chicago White Sox. He had 1,294 hits, 261 stolen base, and a .284 batting average. So here is Patsy Dougherty, showing him at the end of his career playing for the Chicago White Sox. You can tell it's American League because it has the diamond. And this is a red background and red diamond background. So a true red. This one came out of a Honest long cut cigarette box. Now this card came out first, and it's actually an error card. If you notice, the sock in the upper left corner is red, but he played for the White Sox, so they corrected it. So that's the corrected version on the left and the uncorrected on the right. There's roughly same amount of each. The Red Sox version is slightly less popular or populous, but not by much. And they pretty much go for the same price, whether you're buying the White Sox or the Red Sox. And the White Sox is a Sovereign cigarette. So there's Patsy Dougherty, a good hitting outfielder with his error card and his corrected card. So now we move on to Thomas Downy. I couldn't really find any write-ups on Thomas Downy. He was just a common player. So I'll just have to give you the facts. Here he is pictured on the Cincinnati Reds. Downy played for 4 teams in his 6 years of his career. 520 hits, 87 stolen base, and a 240 batting average. So it's about all I can come up with Tom Downy. No stories about him or anything. But a nice card. A little off center, which is very typical with T205s, but has nice gold borders. Nice registration. The orange background, National League. And this came out of a Hassan cigarette pack. So, Thomas Downy of the Cincinnati Reds. Okay, the fourth player is Larry Doyle of the New York Giants. Larry played 14 years, almost entirely with the New York Giants. He was considered among the top second basemen during his playing days. John McGraw called him up from the minors to arrive for the July 21st, 1907 game that he was to play in. However, after taking the ferry across the Hudson River from New Jersey, he got on the wrong train and went the opposite direction as the Polo Grounds, so he missed the game. However, he did play the next day, his first Major League game, and he played at second base, the position he never played. He is normally a third baseman in the minors. And unfortunately, that cost the Giants the game when Larry made a error that allowed the Cubs' Frank Chance to score. He became no longer nervous in the Major League and learned how to play the second base position and had a very good career. In 1912, he won the Chalmer Award, which is equivalent to the MVP award today. He became team captain and helped lead the team under John McGraw for 3 consecutive pennant winners from 1911 to 1913. He would manage a team when John McGraw got kicked out of the game or was suspended for a game, as John McGraw often did. He won the 1915 National League batting title, and his .408 slugging percentage was the top mark by a National League second baseman when he retired. He has 1,887 hits, 298 stolen base, a 357 batting average, and that .408 slugging percentage. So, very good player. Very good player for John McGraw's New York Giants. Nice National League card. There's no diamond. Very nice orangey red background. Very nice registration on the card. Typical chipping of the gold on the borders. And this came from a Piedmont back. So our fourth player today, going down the checklist, Larry Doyle of the New York Giants. Now our fifth and final player is Hugh Duffy, manager of the Chicago White Sox. Hugh Duffy played 17 years in the major leagues from 1888 to 1906. He became one of the star center fielders of the 19th century. He played for 6 teams, but his best seasons came when he played for the Boston Beaneaters from 1891 to 1900. In the 1894 season, he set the single season batting average by hitting .440. After his playing days, Duffy became a manager. He was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1945. After he was no longer managing, he still had a role in baseball, even well into his older years, as a scout and spring training instructor for the Boston Red Sox. In March 1953, 86-year-old Duffy was still mentally alert and physically fit, and he spent hours on the field in uniform instructing young Red Sox players the finer points of hitting. He and Ted Williams had a good relationship and could always talk hitting. Unfortunately, the following year, in 1954, he passed away from cancer. So right up to the pretty much end of his life, he was involved in baseball, and he's still wearing a uniform. He has 2,293 hits, 1,302 RBIs, 574. I didn't write down what it was, sorry. And a 386 career batting average. So, Hugh Duffy, manager of the White Sox when the T205s came out, but he is a 19th century baseball star as well as Hall of Famer. So this is an American League card held by the diamond. This has a lovely blue background and a red inner diamond background. Real nice registration. The whites really stand out. And this came out of a Sweet Caporal box. So there we go. Those are the next 5 in the T205 alphabetical checklist. And I hope everyone has a good Tobacco Card Tuesday. But since it's Wednesday, I'm going to wish you a very wonderful Wednesday. Thank you.